I am joining you from Brooklyn, New York. I'm very jealous of people who are joining from Lake Tahoe. And I started working at Chazon about sometime in March. March, yeah, time is weird these days. So I'm a lot even newer than Alana, but so far every single person that I've interacted with from the Israel Ride community has been absolutely amazing. I'm very much looking forward to meeting everyone here that I have not met yet, and looking forward to hearing what's going on with everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Next up on my screen is I have Mark Drury.
Hello, so I'm joining you from Arlington, it's just a suburb of Boston, and been on 5 rides and looking forward to the 6th, and it's nice to see so many familiar faces on the screen.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Next up on my screen is I have Neil Leifer. Neil, I think you're muted. I'm going to unmute you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've done 5 rides. It's great to see everybody. I'm living in Brookline now, and had a nice ride this morning.
Awesome. Next up on my screen is I have Sharon Cohen.
I'm from Western Massachusetts. I think I'm going to be doing hopefully my 6th or 7th ride this fall. I'm starting to lose count, and I too rode this morning. Proudly wearing his red shirt.
Nice. We have to do our day of swag of everybody posting themselves wearing their Israel Red jerseys. We're going to do it. Next up on my screen is I have Marcus Sheftel.
Hey, I'm Marcus Shaftel. I moved my camera so you didn't have to watch me eat. Hi, Matan. See what I got?
Oh.
I'm in Austin, Texas. I've done 2 rides and hope to be back in 21 with my eldest child on a seat next to me.
Wow. Awesome.
Nice.
Yep.
Thanks, Marcus. Next up on my screen is I have Stephen Lowenthal.
Hi, Steve Lowenthal from, I guess, the Bay Area, California. It's complicated what town. But yeah, I rode in 2011. And it was amazing. I hope to do it again, maybe bring my boyfriend up. He's never seen Israel, and he's a pretty competent rider as well. So that would be cool. But I haven't signed up for this fall. Things are still up in the air. And my kids, I can't get them really on bikes, not anything serious. They see it as something old people in the neighborhood do.
Thanks, Stephen, and we'd love to have you, whether it's this fall or in the future. Great, and next up, our ride co-chair and founder, Howie.
Hi, I'm Howie. I've done, I think it's 18 rides we've had now, 18 years. And we hope to be doing number 19, but who the heck knows. I've been lucky enough to be stuck. We came down to Florida for a couple of months and have been stuck here. The good news of that is I've been out riding basically every day since all this stuff started. So watch out.
Thanks, Howie. Next up on my screen is I have Alicia.
Hi, I live south of Houston, but around the Houston area. This will be my first ride, so I'm pretty excited. One of my Jewish friends recommended this to me, and I think I told you about this. Originally, he found this ride. It will be my first time to Israel, so I'm so excited. I'm Jewish and everything. So, one of my Jewish friends recommended this because his great-grandfather escaped the Holocaust from riding his bike from Poland to England. And that's younger than me, that's married, went with his father and rode your ride. And then I love the environment, and I'm part of like outdoor groups and stuff like that. So looking forward to it.
Is that Rob Zerwin?
Yeah, Ben Fetterman was my friend Ben and Leah Fetterman. I don't know his father's name.
Yeah, we had an amazing story about that. The first year we did the ride, a guy came, he was from Houston, I think, Rob something with a Z, with a picture of his father who had ridden a bike from Warsaw to Israel, basically, and stayed and got out of the Holocaust. And there was a picture of 5 riders, and it got published in Maariv, the Israeli daily newspaper. And in Ashkelon that night, we had representatives of 3 of the other families of the riders who came and had this unbelievable conversation that of descendants of these guys who rode bikes from Warsaw, who had never met each other, and hearing about all their lives. It was just unbelievable. So
Yeah.
I wonder if it's part of the same group. Anyway.
It could have been. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, great. Alicia, great. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Next up, Abigail, if you want to go.
Hi, I'm Abigail. I'm the director of the ride. I am based in Ktorah, Kibbutz Ktorah in Israel, usually, but at the moment I'm at my parents' house in Jerusalem. Arrived here today, just so tomorrow I can drive all the way back while testing out the route. Checking that everything's okay on the route, no road closures, new intersections that we don't know about, things like that, just so that we'll be ready for the fall.
Awesome. Thank you. Send us some great pictures, please, so we can
Of
post them on
course.
Facebook and Instagram. Great. So thank you, everyone, for introducing themselves. And then before I start introducing our guests of honor, our lead riders for our Lunch with the Lead Riders, I'm going to add a few more questions to my opening circle questions. So I'm going to ask all of our lead riders when I call on you to share who you are, where you're joining from, and then to share a little bit more about what's your connection to the Israel Ride and the Arava Institute or Chazon. How many rides have you been part of? And what's something that brings you back each year, that just draws you to rejoin us year after year? So first up on my screen is I have Ifat. Ifat, if you want to start us off.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I missed you already. So I'm the youngest rider in the lead rider. Only 2 times since 2011. And actually, I enjoyed the team. I said by mistake, and I'm keep doing it because I'm so much enjoying myself, and it's give me so many things to my personality. And except, I mean, it's not like to enjoy riding and to be a part of something so so big, so important. So I'm gonna do it again and again, year after year, and I hope everybody will be with me.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ifat. Next up on my screen is I have Matan. Matan, I think I'm going to unmute you. Start. You want to go again? We don't hear you.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Still can't hear you.
No, we can come back. I can come back. No. Well, we'll come back. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to go to Alma, and then we'll come back to Matan on our next switch. So Alma, feel free to go ahead and introduce yourself. You are also muted. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi. So I'm Alma. I'm an alumni of the Arava Institute, and I work on. I'm on the ride since 2006, I think. At the beginning, I was crew, and then I was discovered as a lead rider. And ever since 2007, I think, I'm a lead rider. I love the rides. I love the riders. I love the crew. It's great to keep in touch with the new crew in the Arava Institute year after year, and meet new alumni, younger, that have different. I studied in the Arava Institute about 17 years ago. It's a long time ago, 16 years ago. that's a long time ago, and to meet new alumni is something. They're different, they're interesting, they have ambitious minds and creative minds, and to meet the riders, this is another great. Some riders that come year after year, and you know, there's some alumni of the ride that know me as a bachelor. And I'm a mother to 3. There's Howie, Sharon, went through a lot of things with me. And to hear of what they think of the Arava, and present the Arava Institute for them, and what it has given me as an adult, professionally, and also, yes, so there's no, and of course, riding. Riding is wonderful. It's fun, it's the open air, I'm not at the office. The great vacation ever, and with friends.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Alma. Great. So Matan, I saw your sound working. If you want to go ahead now.
Oh, great. I'm happy. I don't know what happened. So hi, my name is Matan. I am originally from Jerusalem. I was born and raised in Jerusalem. And in recent years, I have been mostly living in Jaffa. But in the past year, I've spent most of my time in New York City, and then the last 6 months in the Bay Area, where I'm still, that's where I am right now. I'm hesitant to say that I'm stuck here, because you can't really get stuck in the Bay Area because it's so wonderful, but I can't really go back to Israel. I had a few flights that I was supposed to take, but they never left, and so I never left. So sadly, I have to use my bike here, and in this great, vast, beautiful scenery.
That's unfortunate that you have to ride.
California. I know, life is so difficult sometimes.
Come to Nevada. It'll feel just like home. I can offer you a guest.
I really thought of cycling to Nevada. I really wanted to. But California policemen are not very keen on letting you just be everywhere. You have to prove that you are staying somewhere that's somewhat close to where you are right now. And I tried it. It didn't go very well. So
I can help you. I mean, I live there. I'm from the Bay Area.
Oh, nice. We can talk about that then.
Great. Thanks so much, Matan. Then Matan, do you want to talk about how did you get involved with the ride and your connection to the
yeah, sure. Sorry. So I studied at the Arava Institute in 2009. 2009, I studied there for 2 semesters, in 2008-9. I was a toddler, and then that was actually the first time that I joined the ride. It was right after the second Gaza war, and there were less participants than the usual, and I had my bike with me at the Institute, and they offered me to come, Alma offered me to come and join 1.5 days or so, and of course I said yes, and that was my first ride. And then I came and I worked at the logistic teams. I worked for 2 rides. I managed one of the logistic teams, and then they needed a lead rider, and this would be my 7th year as a lead rider, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much, Matan. Great.
Thank you.
Next up on my screen is I have Neria. Neria, if you want to unmute yourself and then introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. I'm Neria. I'm speaking from Jerusalem, from my balcony. I don't know if you can see the lights behind me. By the way, this is where I'm Zwifting. I just Zwifted about half an hour ago. This is my bike. I don't know if you see it. Anyway, I joined the ride in 2007. Kfir is a very good friend of mine. He's an alumni of the Arava Institute. he told me to join the ride, and since then I participated in most of the rides. Maybe I missed one or two rides. I'm coming each year again because I think this is the best week for me. It's the best week of the year. I'm always looking forward to it. I have a great time with the riders, with the crew, with the lead riders. And I think it's something so unique and special that everyone should do it. And I'm looking forward to see you, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Neria. Next up on my screen is I have Kfir. Kfir, if you want to go.
Gotta unmute Kfir.
Kfir, are you there?
Oh, Ken.
He's there.
He texted me that he has problems with listening and speaking.
Got it. Okay. Kfir, are you there? Can you hear us? We can.
He's there.
Tell him to turn off the video. It's easier to talk without the video. Takes less bandwidth.
We can see Kfir.
Yeah, we
That's
see
something.
this is Kfir. we can come back. So I'm gonna go to Ro'i. Ro'i, are you there?
Muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Roy,
unmute.
you're muted.
Yeah, I'm
Ro'i, are
here.
you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah,
I
we
can
hear you.
actually video as well because I
Great.
just.
There you are.
I'm in my office. My second office is my car. I'm driving it too much. So I'll start with where I am. I'm in a gas station between Cambridge to some unknown place near Cambridge in UK, though, not in Massachusetts, where some other Cambridge people are. I've done the ride, I think, something between 10 and 13 times. I'm not 100% sure. And I actually, just like Neria mentioned, I'm also a childhood friends with Kfir. And I think I kind of introduced both of them to road cycling, and Kfir introduced both me and Neria to the Machon. And I think after few years, we saw it as like the best week of our year in terms of the people that we meet, and both the team and the riders. And obviously some of the riders are definitely friends of ours. We're in touch with them the whole year, and the crew of the lead riders and some other people from the crew are very close friends. So it's like definitely became a thing that is a must in your annual calendar. Yeah, I think that's it. I forgot if there's anything else we were supposed to say.
No, that's great. Those are my questions so far. I'm gonna ask a few more in a moment. Thank you so much, Ro'i. And then should we try to go back to Kfir? Kfir, can you hear us? Are you there? We see you. All right, no problem. Great.
איך אתה שומע אותנו?
Okay.
Ken,
Great.
I did.
Yeah, I heard you, Matan.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, so another question just to throw out to everybody on our call is knowing that we are all in so many different locations. We have people in California, people on the East Coast of America, people in Israel, people in the United Kingdom. And so the question on everyone's mind is, what is your life like these days? What has it been like over the last few months? And just knowing our crowd that's here, both what has your life been like and how has that affected how you train and how you ride? So I'm happy to open up this question both to our participants and to some of our lead riders. So feel free to unmute yourself and jump in and share what has your life been like over the last few months.
I can start and say it's really cold in Massachusetts in March, but I put on more clothes and I've ridden in colder weather than ever because I lost my gym. But it's really hard to ride alone, and my friends are still riding alone. No one's riding in groups here, and I see other people that are, but we are not. And that's been the hardest part, is to just be motivated to get out and to do the rides. But I'm out there riding as much as I can, and unfortunately I'm working more than full time because my job is harder because of COVID, not easier.
Thank you, Sharon.
California is not hard to ride. And really, I didn't see a lot of restrictions on movement per se, but I ride with my boyfriend or small groups. I'm kind of one of those who at some point kind of felt that, the extreme social distancing really isn't going to make a difference. So in my neighborhood, which is partly African American, social distancing went by the wayside, and sort of cases didn't increase. It went by the wayside a while ago. So, I've been able to get out. And my gym, I belong to a small one. So they lent out equipment, and we have Zoom classes. So everybody has a different heavy object. Some people may have a single barbell plate. Some people have a kettlebell. I was fortunate to pick a kettlebell, but, so trying to keep fit. But then I also rented this place in Nevada because, frankly, the lockdown, there's the medical side of it, but I think there's economic tension. I think in my community, there's a lot of people, especially kids, but a lot of everybody. There's a lot of homeless with not enough to do. Their revenue stream has been cut down. So they're getting antsy, there's bad behavior, and it obviously came to a head in the last week. I mean, my Target was trashed, my Best Buy was, looted near where I live just last night, right? So I kind of felt that, in a way, I need a second place because I don't know how safe it is. And what we're seeing is, I think, as much of a result of COVID as it is the catalyst that happened in Minnesota. So that's my little.
No, thanks.
So yeah, it's been interesting.
Hey, Marcus, for us in Austin, we locked down in the middle of March. And hardest part actually was for my kids. I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old. My 14-year-old's in public school, and our public school system did not adapt well and had to work to the lowest common denominator, which was folks that don't have the benefit of broadband internet access. So Scholastics moved to you get an email and assignments for the week, and then you email them back. So he's a pretty social kid and fell into a pretty gross depression, was stuck in his room, and that's been happening with a lot of teens in Austin. So we're trying to keep them moving and connected however we can. My 14-year-old did great because the world is stupid anyways when you're a 14-year-old teen. So she thought it was stupid, but it's in a private school, so she adapted pretty well. My wife likes having us around. I work at a tech company, so in 48 hours, everybody went remote. We're not going to go back to the office anytime this calendar year because we're still cranking along. We haven't missed a single milestone yet, and we probably won't. And everybody keeps buying cell phones, so that keeps us in work. And for training, I put 1,000 miles on the bike I rode in the Israel ride, but I haven't moved an inch. It's all been on a trainer. And so across Sufferfest, Ruvi, and Zwift, I'm either doing workouts, races, or just, trying to put on more miles than Neria is in a week. So we'll see how it's going. I think I got him beat right now because I'm at like 980 miles since like April 1st. We'll see if I can stay ahead of him.
Awesome. Thanks, Marcus. Anybody else like to go?
I'll go.
Great. Go ahead, Mark.
So, Massachusetts, we were one of the, early hotspots in March. And so March is, as Sharon mentioned, was a cold month. I spent a lot of time indoors on Zwift and did some of the Israel Cycling Academy group rides, as well as some of the other ones and the Hazon rides that were on Zwift. Those were great. And then as I warmed up, started getting outdoors more, first, by myself. Then, a few of us would ride together, socially distanced. And that's what's been pretty much, going on right now. I mean, I rode with 4 or 5 other people yesterday, all most of them from the Israel Ride, past Israel riders. And, we get out for 50 miles, 60 miles. Longest ride I've done is 80. Try not to go too far or in areas where I know that I can't get water. And that's basically really, it's, just being able to reliably find water on a longer ride is sort of what governs the distance that I choose. But looking forward, obviously the weather's warmed up and more outdoor rides, and just all the other rides that I was supposed to be doing this spring and fall in terms of group rides or charity rides have been canceled, which is unfortunate. Some of them postponed to September. So I'm really hoping that we can still manage to all get together in Israel and at the end of October.
Us too, Mark, us too.
Oh, and I do have an idea for another piece of swag. Israel Ride face covering.
We are we're a few weeks ahead of you, Mark. Stay tuned. Awesome,
I could use
great.
that more than another jacket.
Well, maybe if you count your blessings, maybe you'll get both sooner than you know. Great. So let's hear from some of our lead riders in Israel. What has life been like for you? How are you out on your bike training, and what have you been up to? Yeah, Neria, go ahead. You are muted. Can I unmute you? There you
go. For about 2 months, we couldn't go out and do sport outside. You could go just like a block away from your home, and you could run, like 100 meters away and back. So you couldn't really go far away. So you couldn't really practice outside. So many people in Israel, I know that because I spoke with someone from a bike store. Many people bought trainers, and they didn't have any more trainers in Israel. I have been lucky, so I could buy a trainer in the beginning of March. And like Marcus said, I've been practicing a lot on the trainer. I just I didn't know Zwift before this the COVID-19. And in the last 2 months, I've been on the trainer for almost every second day or so. About a month ago, I think we could start going out. So I started practicing again outside. I rode with Kfir, with Roy, mountain biking, actually. I started running again like about a month ago. And I hope that things will improve, and we won't have I don't know how do you say it in English, a second how do you say it?
A second wave.
A second wave, and everything will be okay, and we can continue practicing outside and get ready for the Israel ride.
Are your kids in school, and how's that going?
They haven't been to school for about a month and a half or so. They just got back about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now there's a little thing here, specifically in Jerusalem. There's a high school that there are about 160 students in the same high school that are infected. Got infected with COVID. I don't know. Anyway, there are 160 students that got the COVID-19. So now there's a big stress only in Jerusalem. I hope it will be only in Jerusalem and that it will pass fast.
Great. Thank you, Neria. Alma, Yifat, do you guys want to share anything about what life in Israel is like?
Yes, I had my kids for 2 months at home, and I was at the kitchen most of the time. Even if I could go out, they had to go back quickly because they were hungry again. No, but I live in a kibbutz, and there is a nice cacao forest just above us on the slopes of the Natzeret Mountains. And so it's very nice for mountain biking and running, and it's just this little, the forest is just 50 meters from my house. So we were a lot at the forest, and we did camping in the forest and training there. But yes, we had the kids with us. Some of the time I did work. I work for the government. I'm a freelance. For those who don't know me, I'm an urban planner. And then, so I was, part of the time I was working, but I couldn't work as much because of the kids. The kids were at home, and my husband also had to work. So we switched between us. And yeah, training was very hard, even though I could go out because I live in just next to the open space. It was hard because of the time with the kids, and they had works from school through the computer, and they're still too young to do it themselves. But we also had a lot of family time, and we did a lot of things at home. And we had a good time with the corona, actually. I really hope that there will not be a second wave, that we will get back to our to the reality we all know. And yes.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Alma. Ifat, do you want to go? I can unmute you. You're muted. There you go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. So I'm almost a month to go back to work normal. Most of the time we were working. I'm working in a military, so we work all the time. I have old children, so they are not at school or something like that. So we didn't suffer a lot. We have, a lot, of course, obviously, some good times as a family, but that's it.
Great. Thanks so much, Ifat.
Welcome.
Yeah. Ro'i, if you're still here, do you want to tell us about what life has been like for you in the UK, in England? Okay. No problem.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead. There we
Okay.
are.
I won't be on a video, but you can hear me. So basically, I'm just between living in the UK and moving back to Israel, and it's I wouldn't talk about that too much because that requires a separate meeting. But I've been in Israel for about 2 months, just when the corona started in March. So I was initially in a quarantine and couldn't even ride a bicycle because it's more strict over there. You don't want like an army helicopter chasing you. So I mainly ran without my cell phone and with camouflage clothing. I ran in the woods for about 2 weeks. And then I went to the center of Israel for another like 6 weeks. You were not allowed to ride bicycle, but you could kind of find ways to have an excuse in the pocket if the police officers ask you, like that you're going to the protest in Tel Aviv, for instance. So I kind of rode a little bit during that 6 weeks, and then the restriction were loosened by much, and we did a couple of rides with Neria and Fear, the mountain biking that Neria mentioned, so that was nice. And then I had to go back to the UK to finish some things that I need to finish here. And luckily, here it's much more relaxed in terms of Corona, and I'm doing compensating for the lost mileage of marriage, so riding a lot. And not on Zwift like Neria. And I have to mention that Neria developed some virtual problems from riding on Zwift. But when I'll go back to Israel, we'll sort it out. He developed all kinds of virtual, like, can't distinguish between the reality and the virtual world, but we'll fix it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Roy. Okay, so before I ask my next question, does anybody else want to share what life has been like for you? How have you been training? What do you wish you could be
I
doing?
have a message from Kfir. Kfir says that he says, first of all, hi to everybody, and he really hopes that he'll see you soon. For some reason, his microphone isn't working, and he's trying to upgrade his Zoom, and it isn't working. But he can hear us, but kind of broken up, just so you know. He says that he's, to the Boston people, he's supposed to come in a month to the US, and he's really hoping that he will get to ride with all the Boston folks when he gets to the US.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Kfir, and Abigail. Thank you for being our messenger.
The big change in COVID for me was, I'm really bad. I kind of eat out 2 to 3 meals a day, and I've actually had to try cooking. It's been sort of a challenge trying to figure out, what all these things in my kitchen are meant to do. But I've lost weight. I feel healthier as a result.
I've been, I only ride outside. I don't do Zwift. If I can't ride outside, I don't ride. So I've been riding a fair amount. To excuse my English, it's fucking madness in the United States right now. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen. I don't know. It's exposed a lot of inequality and a lot of infrastructure that hasn't been taken care of for the last 30 years. And not just roads. I mean, hospitals and schools and things like that. I enjoy communicating with Roy and Kfir and keeping in touch. And I look forward to seeing everybody again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Neil. Great. And the other question, the last question I wanted to ask this group before opening up to wider questions is just knowing that for so many of us, the Israel Ride is that positive best week of the year that we're all looking forward to and hoping that we can all be together on October 27th. Is what are those favorite moments and favorite stories from past Israel Rides that you're holding on to? What is that sense of positivity, those positive, happy moments and triumphs and stories and experiences that you're holding on to as we think towards this year's ride?
I'm showing all of mine as backdrops.
Yes.
The descent and climb through Maktesh Ramon, definitely.
I sort of feel like it's my opportunity to go to summer camp as an adult. You look forward to seeing the people that you've met year after year after year. You forge these friendships, whether it's with Alman Kfir in Israel or Mark at home. It's been a great experience. I've been coming alone most of the years. No one from my community seems to want to do this. I keep trying. I've brought a few people along, but it's just it's what I ride all year for. If it wasn't for the Israel Ride, I don't know that I'd be on my bike as much as I am.
Oh, could I plug another ride if people want to use it to train for the Israel Ride? Obviously this year. So the AIDS Life Cycle is a good one. It's 1 week, San Francisco to Los Angeles, 545 miles, 3,000 riders. So that'll get you geared up for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen.
Do I see Jesse?
Yeah, Jesse is here. Yeah. Jesse, do you want to, Jesse, you missed our general introductions and updates. If you want to share a little bit about who you are and what's up in your life.
I just have to say bye because I have to get on the road myself.
Thanks, Stephen, for being here. Great to see
Stephen.
you.
Bye. It's good to see you guys again.
See you in a few months.
Well, I'm not on this year's ride.
Oh,
but,
right. See you in a year and a few months.
Yes.
It was great to see Alma and Neria. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stephen.
Nice meeting you.
Take care.
Hi. Yeah. I wanted to pop in and say hello. My name is Jessie Karsif. I was the associate director of the ride for the previous 5-ish years and handed it off to Alana and Sarah. So I just wanted to pop in and say hi and see all the faces that I would know. I would like to say hello to Howie's goatee also, which, you know, is great. Just wanted to say hi to everyone. I'm here in Brooklyn, and we are, you know, hunkered down, taking safe walks with masks when we can, and the weather's finally all gorgeous here and everything. So, you know, one day at a time, trying to, you know, be aware and cognizant, and been donating to some important organizations today, like the Brooklyn Bail Fund, Campaign Zero, the Minnesota Freedom Fund. If anybody would like any more, I have lots of resources and lists and things that I've been compiling today, and just trying to stay aware. And it's good to see everybody's faces, those who I know, and folks that I don't know. It's really nice to virtually meet you. And I have to sign off shortly. The little guy is waking up from a nap soon, but you know, it's just wonderful to check in.
Thank you so much, Jessie. Thanks for being here. Say hi and send the Israel Reds love back to Theo. We miss him as our mascot.
We will.
Yeah. Great. And then
Bye, Jessie.
Hi,
Jessie.
Jessie,
Bye.
so good to see you. I wanted to add some more baby news. Asaf, our 7th lead rider, had a baby 4 days ago. So he apologizes that he can't be on the call right now, but he's sure that you understand why. There's a picture, Alana, I sent you the picture on WhatsApp. Could you maybe
I just made it so you
something?
can share your screen if you need. Yeah, just turn that back on. Yeah.
Hold on. He sent a little picture of him. Let's see. Sorry, I'll do this in just a moment.
I can also try. And then after we view the pic.
Can I just say, Marcus, it's really weird seeing Abigail in 2 places at once.
Yes, I'm. Hey, there's me.
There we go.
Share screen.
Thank you.
There. Okay, share. There is Asaf with his newborn baby. Yes. So yeah, he sent that to us today, and he apologized that he couldn't be here.
Well, please send him back a big mazel tov from us. And one of our Israel Ride onesies next time you are in the store.
Definitely. It's already in my office ready to be sent to him.
Okay,
yes.
good. Great. Great. And then we have about 10-15 minutes left. So if people have questions that they want to ask each other or ask any of our lead riders, the floor is open.
So I guess I'm sure the question that's on everybody's mind is, are we all going to be able to see ourselves together come October? And I can't give you any definitive answers at this point. You know, the world, what I've been saying is the world changes now in 2 or 3 weeks the way it used to change in 6 months. So it's a long time from now to then as to what's going to be. We're working on potential of thinking through what things might look like. It's not likely that we're going to be able to do everything that we're used to doing in the way that we're used to doing it. We pretty much know that. But we're going to try like hell to find a way to see what we can put together, particularly because I know I've talked to a lot of alumni in the last, few weeks who, say, I've got my plane ticket. I'm ready to go. And let's somehow make this happen. So again, it can't be, and if we do something, it won't be the same as it's been the last few years. There will have to be compromises and some changes, but we're working hard to try and do that and get everybody together. I often think of the Israel Ride in the sense of going and doing reserve duty, doing Miluim. These are my Miluim friends that I see once a year. And it's a little more fun than Miluim, but than the reserves. And we really want to do it and don't want to miss a year. So we're trying to find a way to make it happen.
Good.
Thank you, Howie.
As I said before, I'm already in Jerusalem, ready to start the launch tomorrow, heading to our launching site. I'm going to meet Lindsay, our crew leader, and start doing some route testing. If anybody wants any route changes, tell me now. Yeah, just seconding what Howie was saying, we've all been working very hard throughout this Corona time, trying to keep the momentum going, even though it hasn't always been easy. Like Alma said, working from home with kids, Alana and Sarah and Howie have all met my girls virtually in many Zoom calls where they just won't leave my lap. Yeah, we're definitely working hard on trying to create a ride that will be as meaningful as ones that have been in the past. And as fun, of course. And I have to say, the lead riders are definitely some of the best people who make this ride what it is. We are so lucky to have such an amazing group of people. And Alana, you asked before about favorite parts of the ride. One of my favorite parts is the lead riders, our meetings over beers at the end of the days, our lead rider training that we do a few weeks before the ride, hanging out together with these amazing people who are there on the road with the riders to push the riders, to encourage, to help out, to set the pace, to work harder sometimes than the riders themselves, going back and forth to make sure that nobody's left behind. So way to go, lead riders. You guys are all amazing.
Thank you, Abigail.
תודה.
תודה.
Great. So if feel free to ask other questions, but if not, I just want to again thank all of our lead riders for joining us here this afternoon, this morning, this evening, and for all of our riders and participants for being here. As Howie said, things are up in the air, but we are trying our hardest to know that we can all be together as much as possible in the fall. And part of our efforts and that idea of just what I'm looking forward to in that positive moment is just that sense of amazing community that's created on the Israel Ride from all the participants, the staff, the crew, the lead riders, and just having the opportunity to take these small moments to gather together virtually just helps push all of us as the staff just to keep going. So thank you all for being here this afternoon, and please feel free to be in touch with any questions as things come up. And just one reminder, all of you who are here are registered to join us in 2020. But if you have friends who may be interested to join us in 2020 or 2021, please encourage them to reach out, check out our website. We're having a virtual information session on June 15th, and be on the lookout for further updates about other virtual opportunities to be part of the Israel Ride. Great.
Austin's looking good for 21.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear, Marcus. We want to have the whole team back in 2021. Mm-hmm. Great. So thank you all for being here. Have a lovely night, a great afternoon, and we will see you all soon.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Good.
Thank you.
Bye. Good
Bye,
seeing
everyone.
you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Ian, for facilitating.
Yeah.
And everybody stay safe, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Peter, look forward to seeing you in Boston.
Sharon!
Alma,
Bye.
nice seeing you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.